Immigration.
Migration to stop the boat.
Give us back control.
Immigration will be a make or break issue for this government.
Refugees are welcome here.
We've got a system that will take care of proper legal migrants. It's the illegal migrants that we don't want here.
One of the world's wealthiest nations experiencing its biggest ever surge in immigration. What's driving this wave? Who's coming? And why is it sparking fierce debates about jobs, society and borders? Welcome to today's video, where we unpack the UK's record-breaking immigration numbers and what it all means for the future. Stick around because the story might not be what you expect. Last year, the United Kingdom saw an unprecedented influx of immigrants, more than any other developed country. According to the OECD, over 746,000 people moved to the UK in 2023, a massive jump from the 488,000 the year before. But what's behind these numbers? And how are they reshaping the country? Let's dive in. The UK isn't alone. Countries like Australia, Canada and France also saw record immigration levels. But here's the twist. The UK's growth rate topped them all at a staggering 52.9%. For comparison, South Korea came close at 50.9%, while countries like the US and Germany saw much smaller increases. And here's a key detail. The surge was largely driven by migrants entering the UK on health and social care visas. Meanwhile, family migration soared by 60%, with most new arrivals accompanying labour migrants. But how does this affect the nation's workforce and economy? Well, here's where things get complicated. A record 7 million foreign-born workers are now employed in the UK. That's a jump of 2 million in just the past decade. Interestingly, this surge isn't from the EU. Post-Brexit, the number of EU-born workers has actually declined by over 230,000. Instead, it's people from non-EU countries, especially India, Nigeria and China, driving this growth. But is this influx a blessing or a burden? Not everyone is thrilled about these numbers. Critics like Reform UK's Richard Tice argue that mass immigration has damaged social cohesion and call it a policy failure. On the flip side, the previous Conservative government introduced reforms to curb migration, like limiting who can bring family members and raising salary thresholds for skilled workers. These moves have already led to an 83% drop in health visa applications and a 75% decline in family migration linked to students. But will these changes stick? The current Labour government has paused some of these measures, sparking fresh debates. The big question is, where does the UK go from here? Let's zoom out. Immigration isn't just a UK story, it's a global one. From the aftermath of the pandemic to conflicts in Ukraine and Hong Kong, people are on the move more than ever. For Britain, this wave brings both opportunities and challenges. It's fueling industries like healthcare, but also raising questions about infrastructure, wages, and social cohesion. So, what do you think? Is the UK's record immigration a sign of a thriving, inclusive nation? Or does it reveal cracks in its policy and planning? Let's spark a conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.